I'd like now to step aside, as I often find myself loving to do in the role of publisher and editor, stepping aside for the writers I support. And the poet I'd like to introduce right now goes by the name of Sassan Tabatabai. He teaches Persian language and literature and humanities at Boston University and Boston College. He's the author of a scholarly work, a collection of translations of the medieval Persian poet Rudaki, called Father of Songs. Oh no, the Father of Persian Poetry. Right? Leiden renamed it. Father of Songs is the title I know. Right? And also of a collection of poems and translations published by Penton in 2011, Uzum Barun. He's a poet, a boxer, and a dear friend, Sassan Tabatabai.
I'll read you a few short poems. This one is called Caspian Summer. I can still hear my mother's voice sifting its way through the orange grove, broken by dusk and distance, calling me back to the villa on the hill, away from my August friends, local boys who didn't need sunscreen, who caught water snakes with their bare hands and carried frogs in their pants pockets. Come inside, she would say. It's almost dark. Inside the screened porch, safe from mosquitoes and night sounds, this glowing comfort awaited. The smell of fried garlic, the rattle of dice rolling on the wooden backgammon board, and moist, sticky tiles under my bare feet. Later, tucked into cool, damp sheets, my little sister asleep, I listened to the ebb and flow of adult conversations downstairs, cornices of excitement, followed by lulls filled with the sea's silence. Its distant waves crashing, mute on the deserted shore. It's strange that as autumn leaves bruise in New England, I can still taste the air of a Caspian summer, heavy with humidity and salt. It's strange that as time thickens, the distance between us shrinks. Let's read you a few really short ones. This one's called Firestones. The Cardiff in this poem is in England. It's Southern California. I was collecting rocks on the Cardiff coast, a testimony to centuries of silt left on the shore, of sediment pressed into stone, sandstone, shale, tufa, travertine, jasper, flint. There was a stone that knew the sadness of the sea, that saved its secrets. It was pockmarked with holes and lay half buried in the sand, eager to save the ocean spray, like tears in its miniature pools. There was a stone that always rolled in place. It had rolled round and smooth with each wave, desperately trying to control the tide. There was a stone that showed rings upon rings, placed by the sea over the years, that kept time for the Pacific. There were stones that breathed sulfur, that sparked when they touched, unremarkable in luster or shine. They were the lovers of the ocean, firestones, whose sparks were not dampened by salty waves. But they only made sense in pairs. And there was this one, more white, more brilliant, more polished than any stone. But it was once upon a shell. It needed centuries to become stone. It was a counterfeit firestone. It did not breathe sulfur. It could not make sparks. I traced my steps back along the Cardiff coast, and the stones I returned to the sands. The ocean's secrets would be well kept by the stones. Its tears would be stored in pools. Its years would be measured in rings. Its tides kept in check. But love itself I could not leave unused. I kept the firestones. This one sounds like a cash machine. It was just, at the end of Paradise Lost, as Adam and Eve walk out of the Garden of Eden. Milton writes, the world was all before them, where to choose their place of rest, and providence their guide. They, hand in hand, with wandering steps and slow, through Eden took their solitary way. This is a letter from Adam to Eve in old age. Dear Eve, many moons have passed since that first day we left the garden, with our heads hung low and our shadows cast. Remember how hot it was, how thirsty we were, how far we walked to find water and shade. Remember that first night, how dark it was, how scared we were, how naked we felt in our leaves. And that first winter, with its reluctant sun and thickening night, how we hugged to keep each other warm. Many winters have passed, and with each, I'm getting slower and smaller. We've been through much, and I know it wasn't easy for you. I still regret the way I treated you when he yelled at us for eating his fruit. I knew you needed my sympathy and support, but I called you stupid, and you cried. I wish I had held you instead, and kissed your head and told you it would all be fine. I wish I could have stood up to him. I wish we had taken a whole basket of fruit. I remember the first time your belly swelled. I was nervous because you screamed and screamed, and I thought I would lose you and be alone. But a child was born, and he drank from your breast, and he clung to your skirt, and we learned life. I know it was hard when we lost Abel, and we lost Cain, and we learned death. For the longest time, you wouldn't eat or talk or touch. But we've had good times, too. Remember that first spring? The way it smelled? The way we felt? As if we'd never left that long-forgotten place. Remember the time we drank from the vine we grew on the trellis in the back? You laughed because my eyes turned red and my teeth turned blue. That was the night I discovered you. The night I smelled you and tasted. I realized that you squint when I kiss you and blush when I watch you. That night I found your nape in the curves of your waist and those two dimples low on your back. And you showed me the things a woman can do. It has ceased to be that way with me and you for a long time now, I know. But when I look at you with your gray hair and wrinkled smile, I still see that wide-eyed girl trying to cover herself with leaves. As we reach the autumn of our lives, there's nothing I want more than to sit by your side and hold your hand and listen to your voice. My beautiful you, my love, my life. I thank you for giving meaning to my mortality. I'm going to read you one more. It's a very short one. It's called MadHat, after the Persian form that's kind of infiltrated the English language. As a boy, I waited for the smile to appear in you, listened for echoes of the sigh I could hear in you. You are the mirror where I have sought the beloved, her hyacinth curls, and gnawed away a tear in you. In the marketplace, you can learn your future for a price. They are merchants of fate. I see the seer in you. What had been buried under the scriptures' weight, its truth without words or incense, becomes clear in you. They who bind you on the altar of sacrifice hide behind masks. Don't let them smell the fear. As I approach the house lit by dawn's blue light, step by step, I lose myself. I disappear in you. Thank you.